Hey guys, Megan here at CrossFit Kima with Kim, and we're going to go over the movement details and range of motion standards for WOD 1. We're going to start with the pull-ups. Okay, the pull-up can be any type of grip. It can be an overhand grip, an underhand grip for a chin-up. All we're looking for is that your arms are fully extended, feet are off the floor from the starting position, and that your chin is over the bar. Or at least over the horizontal plane of the bar. So if you want to do butterfly kipping pull-ups, that's fine. You just got to see that chin raise over the plane of the bar. Standard kipping is fine. See that chin over. All right, and then if you want to do strict, that's fine. As long as that chin is over the bar, arms are fully extended at the bottom, chin over at the top. If neither you nor your partner can do pull-ups, please send us an email, and we will work with you to find an appropriate scale. So don't freak out. You can still participate. We'll work with you on that. So if neither you nor your partner can do pull-ups, just let us know, and we'll get you squared away. Now, if only one of you can do pull-ups, that's totally fine. One partner can do all 10. There is no minimum work requirement for each partner. So if one person wants to knock out all 10, that's totally fine. Also, there will be 2 teams per 6-foot section. So each team is going to have 3 feet of space to work with. So you and your partner cannot be both side by side on the bar. You know, one can't jump up, do the pull-ups, and the next one jump up beside them, ready to go. You got to either, you can face each other on the inside and outside of the bar, or just kind of, when one drops down, the other hops up. But you cannot be both hanging on the bar so you're ready to go into the next one. So we're going to have a stall mat underneath your section on the pull-up rig. Both partners have to stay on that mat until your 10 pull-ups are completed. Then we're going to have another mat with your barbell on it. So you both must stay on the pull-up mat until those 10 are done, and then you both move to your barbell mat. And those are the details and range of motion standards for the pull-up. Okay guys, movement 2 is going to be 20 shoulder to overhead, and with the barbell. So when you get finished with your pull-ups, you're going to come over to your barbell mat. Your bar will be already loaded. So females, it's going to be 55 pounds. You're going to have a women's bar with 2 10-pound plates and collars. Men, you'll have a male bar, 45 pounds, with 2 15-pound plates and collars. So you'll have 55, 75. Co-ed teams will have 2 bars. You'll have a women's bar and you'll have a men's bar. So for this, the bar has got, it's going to start on the ground, and it's got to get to your shoulder, so it can be any way you want. Most likely it's going to be a power clean. And from here, you're going shoulder to overhead. So it can be a strict press. As long as everything is locked out, we've got her knees. We're looking at the knees, hips, and elbows here, and we're making sure that the head is through that window at the top. So you can also do a push press, which is going to be most likely. Everything's locked out good. And then we're also going to go, you can also go with a push jerk. There you go. As long as everything ends in full extension, you can do a split jerk if you need to. As long as you end with the feet back in line and everything locked out overhead. So you've got to get 20 reps of these. The bar must touch the ground before it passes back and forth between the partners. So you can't, do a rep overhead and pass it to your partner overhead. You also cannot pass in the front rack position. You got to drop it to the ground, and then your partner is going to have to clean it and get it over their head. You can't help them clean it or anything like that. They have got to get that bar from their shoulder to overhead by themselves. So also on this movement, one partner can knock out all 20. You can split it up however you need to. For this, it's going to be maybe a relatively light weight for a lot of people, so we don't want you to go so fast that the reps aren't counting. So basically, when you're doing these reps, think of all you're doing is performing the reps for your judge. So until your judge says 1, 2, counts that rep out loud, assume it's not a good rep. So if she gets going really fast and the judge doesn't have time to know, okay, is everything locked out, those aren't going to count. So your judge, I'm not going to say your judge is going to count slow for you. They can be pretty quick. So this would be a good set of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't have to be frantic. It's not going to slow you down by making sure that your judge counts that it's locked out. So basically, don't pull that bar back down from overhead until you hear that count from the judge. Or at least, they give you eye contact or some indication that it's a good rep. So just like with the pull-ups and the stall mat, you're not going to be able to leave the barbell stall mat until all 20 reps are done. And at that point, you and your partner can then head back to the rig for the next movement, which will be the toes to bar. So you both got to stay here until you move, till all your reps are done, and then you'll move back over. And you'll leave your bar loaded as is. Then when we get back to it, we'll talk about adding the weights. But at this point, you leave the barbell as is, and then just head over to your toes to bar. And those are these range of motion standards for shoulder to overhead. Okay guys, movement 3 is going to be 30 toes to bar. So once you're done with your 20 shoulder to overhead and you've both traveled from that mat back to your pull-up mat, you are going to get set up. Again, you're going to be sharing that 6-foot section, so 3 feet for your team. And you're going to knock out 30 toes to bar. So on these, we just need full extension of the arms. So hanging from that bar, feet off of the ground, and each rep is going to start with your toes, with your foot behind the beam. So then you're going to kick up, kip however you need to, touch those toes, and as long as both feet come in contact with that bar at the top, it's a good rep. So what we're looking for is both feet touching the bar. It could be your toes, it could be the bottom of your shoes, it could be the tops of your shoes, the middle of your shoes, middle of your shins, however you got to do it. We want to see those touch at the same time. So say you need to kick up one leg and then bring the other leg, that's fine. What is not fine is if you kick up and your right leg comes here and then your left leg comes down, or your right leg comes down before the left foot hits. So if it's one hitting at a time, that's no good. They got to both stay up there or both be in contact with the bar at the same time, and then come back behind the support beam to start each rep. So if you want to, we'll have Kim show not a good rep when her feet do not come back behind. It's actually much tougher, so I don't know why you would want to do that, but so that's good there. Also, you're going to need to stay on the mat until all 30 are done, and then you can head back for your next movement, which is going to be the deadlift. Okay, next up is 40 deadlifts. So when you're going to get back to your bar that's loaded at the shoulder to overhead weight, and then you are going to add weight onto that. So females will add 2 35-pound plates, so 1 35-pound plate per side. Males will add a 45 on each side. Co-ed teams, same thing. However, the only variation with the co-ed is that the female must change out the weights on the female bar. The male must change out the weights on the male bar. They cannot help each other. They can't both work on one bar and move to the next bar. They just got to each fix their own bar. And they cannot start until both bars are ready. Okay, so but for the male teams and the female teams, you can help. You can each work on loading that bar. So we're going to add these weights on to get it ready. So you'll need to remove the clip and the weight. And put the clips back on. So the bar is not ready to go until both plates have been added, both clips have been added. Okay, then we've got 40 deadlifts. Bar's going to start on the ground. And you are just going to come up to a standing position, full extension here. We're looking for the knees locked, hips locked, shoulders behind the bar. And we really want those hips to be locked. Okay, so she's going to do a couple reps here. Shoulders come behind the bar. So all that judge is going to be looking for is a full extension of the hips, shoulders behind the bar. We do not want to see any excessive bouncing, so if there's any bend in the elbow on the way back down, no rep. No rep. So you can, you and your partner can stand facing each other, so as soon as they put it down, you can pick it up. You can stand beside each other, so they can just shuffle out of the way. However you need to do it, as long as you're both on your mat, that is fine. For the co-ed teams, the bar has got to come back down to the ground before the other person picks the bar up. So you can't finish here, and then your teammate starts going. You just got to drop that bar before they can pick up their own bar. You can drop from here, it's fine. You don't have to let it go at the bottom. You can do 1 rep at a time if you need to. You can go touch and go. However, you need to get through with those 40. So can you turn to the side here so we can see what we mean by shoulders behind the bar. So she's going to come up, see the shoulders behind the bar, everything's locked down. Okay, those are all good reps. Some not good reps would be if she does not fully open her hips. No good. Shoulders are coming behind the bar, but those hips aren't open. All right, now we're going to lock the hips, but she's going to lean forward here. Hips are locked, the shoulders are in front of the bar, so that's no rep. Same thing, like I said, with the push press, with shoulder to overhead. You wait until that judge calls the rep before you go back down. Just think, the only count that matters is your judges, so listen to them to give you a good rep before you go back down. And those are the standards and the details for the deadlift. Okay, last movement is going to be 50 air squats to be split between you and your partner, however you choose. So range motion on this is going to be a standard squat. So we're looking for hip crease below the knees. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking for bottom of the thigh parallel, top of the thigh parallel, nothing like that. All my judges are going to look at are hip crease below the knees. Good rep. And full extension at the top. So I want to see hips below the knees, fully extended at the top. So a couple of no reps would be good depth, but not fully extended. All right, those are all no reps. Now do one where your knees lock, but your knees are not extended. So she's going to go down, lock out the knees, but no hips. So you still got to open up those hips at the top. So do a good rep again. Good. Okay, same thing. These are going to go by quick, so just make sure your judge counts that rep at the top before you drop back down into the next one. You must come to a full standing position before your partner can drop down into their squats. All right, now at this point I would drop down. Facing this way, we're just looking for hips down, extension at the top. And you got to go 50 there. Okay, so once you're done with your 50 here, that's 1 round down. So it's a 10-minute AMRAP, which means as many reps as possible, or as many rounds as possible, but your score will be your total reps. 1 round is 150 reps. If you knock out that, you still got time, then you're going to go right back to your pull-ups. For your air squats, you're going to be back on your pull-up mat, so you're gonna leave your deadlift mat or barbell mat, come back to your pull-up mat, finish those 50 air squats. So then, if you get ready to do your pull-ups again, you're right there. You're just gonna hop up right on the bar. So again, keep in mind, stay on your mat because you're gonna have another team beside you on their mat. Possible. Okay, so from here we would go right back into the rounds, right into the second round, and you would do your deadlifts. Now, if you make it back to the shoulder to overhead bar, you're just going to have to strip off that weight you put on. So you'll just strip it back down to your shoulder to overhead weight. So that's why when you add the deadlift weight, you're adding it on, so you can easily take it off. And then, so just once the weights are off, collars are replaced, you'll be ready to go for that second round of shoulder to overhead. So those are all of the movement standards and details for WOD 1. The scoring on this, like I said, is going to be as many reps as possible. So the scoring for the event is going to be based on your ranking. So if you get 200 reps on your WOD 1, that's 200 points, and you'll be ranked on that among the other teams. So say if you get 5th place in that gives you 5 points. And then that will be ranked on your other 2 scores, be added to your other 2 scores. So we're going for most points possible on WOD 1, and that'll give you a ranking score that'll be based on your placing. So first place is 1 point, second place 2 points, third 3, etc. And that is it for WOD 1.